Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you?
I'm fine.
So, we are back again. How are things?
Yeah, things are going okay. I'm just, you see, it's already getting dark.
Yeah, here too.
So that is not a good sign. It's quite a bad sign.
Yeah,
Just one day things went dark and it's already feeling like, oh God, something is bad.
here it's not dark yet, but it's chilly. It's getting very
Yeah. I
much.
mean, today it wasn't much. Oh, it is cloudy today, so
Yeah.
okay.
So we have one other person.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hey.
Hi, Kirtan. Hi, Kirtan.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, all fine.
Good.
Okay, cool. So it's almost time we can get started. So I don't know who else will join. Whoever else can also do. So I don't know, Srinath, if you attended these before.
No, this is my first time.
Yeah, so the way it works is this is not really like a teaching session. This is more like a kind of group solving session. So you can bring anything that you would like, you're interested in. So if you have like a problem that you want to solve with Python, then you can bring that over. If not, then either one, we just randomly pick out a data set from Kaggle, or we pick out any other problem that anyone wants to solve and we just solve it.
Okay, so Shiva, I have something because the last week I wasn't there, and the week before I thought maybe we can look at it. So I looked at data set from Kaggle. It's called Liège microgrid.
Oh,
So they have. I have to check just a second. Oh, it's been a while. I downloaded it. I tried to do some. I just want to do a basic DA, some exploratory data analysis to see what is there, because we did with a different kind of data sets. So I wanted to do some analysis on a time series data which has timestamps.
yeah.
See how do I analyze it. But before that, this is something not related to this, but it's a completely different thing. But I just want to ask you if you, by chance, you may know. So I'm trying to do this Fast AI course on deep learning. So Fast AI is Jeremy Howard's approach of trying to just do it by, just teach something by doing it. So in that, one of the first thing that they start off is to connect to do a Bing image search through an API. All of these things are bundled inside the Fast AI package itself. But I created a link. I created an account in Azure, Microsoft Azure, and it was asking a key, and it was not working in the sense that it was just saying that I'm not able to get there, essentially. So I'm not really sure. Just a second. I'm just looking it up because I've been struggling. Today I spent a lot of time on that trying to resolve it, and I couldn't find any way to really do it. So I'm just trying to see if you may have a bit of an idea.
Okay.
What exactly?
Before I say that, before you talk, if you are interested in a quick refresher course, which is like machine learning, data science, bootcamp kind of thing, then one of the best courses I would say, which I've at least taken, and I also recommend to like people who are new to this, is Jose Portilla's Machine Learning Bootcamp, and that's on Udemy. So
that's on
Udemy.
Udemy. Okay.
So that
just a second.
You can check, because right now Udemy, I believe, has a sale. So you can check out if the sale is still, I don't know if it was, I got a message today that today is the last day of the sale. I don't know if it's still on now, but if it's still on, you can.
What exactly? Just a moment. In Udemy, what is it?
You can look for Jose, Jose, that is Jose, but Jose, and Portilla. Yeah.
Okay.
So he has a machine learning bootcamp.
Okay.
So this covers basic Python, pandas, exploratory data, like the creating plots, also with some basics of machine learning. Like, of course, some of the later stuff is not really well covered, like neural networks cannot be done, deep learning, but some of the things like linear regression, logistic regression, recommender systems are okay. It's quite okay to get started with, and it's actually quite light, so you can kind of breeze through it in a week or so, and you can actually have like an idea of what it is.
Okay. Yeah. So the only thing is, the thing is, I tried a lot of courses, and because I know a little bit, I'm doing a little bit. Sometimes it becomes like a lot of them become redundant.
Yeah.
And it's been that's why what I decided was to start doing it. Doing something. So I started a couple of projects. So maybe that is another thing I can ask you, because I was going to see if that can be done. I should have done it, but I never did. I never managed to do it. It's one of my thing that we did for my postdoc, and we did it in MATLAB, and we did it a lot easier. And I wanted to do it in Python, and just probably release it as on GitHub or something like that. So it's that one, and in a general sense, because in the paper that we published with the work, we were not really necessarily, we did not require to do that. Whatever I wrote in the paper, that was not required. But I want to do a general version implementation of that. So maybe that requires some form of a graph representation and all that. I haven't. There is this Network X package I saw, and this probably can be used. Maybe what I'll do is I'll send the proper details, so that there could be some, if required, people can look it up before we discuss that. So maybe not today. We'll probably discuss this next week.
Okay.
But the idea is that you have a big graph given to you, which is a graph of. It could be a graph of a sensor network, graph of set of sensor networks. And the question is, if you want to, you assume some things about how the sensor network is placed, etc. But if in the sensor network you have both sensor faults, that is, sensor is being faulty, and some process problem that is there across everywhere. So how do you, given a configuration, or given a sensor network, can you tell me what are all possible combinations where even if you have both process and sensor fault across the system, you will still be able to determine
the sensor output, or determine the fact that there's a fault?
Determine that both. You will be able to estimate whether there is a sensor fault or there is a process fault. Essentially, it's a sort of an estimation problem. So it is a very simple solution. Is very simple. You just find whether a given thing is a tree or not. Given a configuration is tree or not. But then what I want to do is a bit more general, because this one is a lot easier to just say, okay, if you want to do a just tree, you do some depth first or breadth first search or something like that, and be done. But I haven't done any of that, so I want to do that. Perhaps what I'll do is I'll write that down properly and then send it, and perhaps if somebody also wants to have a look at it, It's actually a very simple and easy way to state the problem and probably also to solve it. It's just the proof was a bit, it was a bit circumventing to say that, yeah, this is enough. So,
Okay.
but that's the only thing.
Okay.
But so that we'll probably see next week. Perhaps I'll try to write everything down because I'm doing it. I started doing a Python version of some of the words, but then I didn't manage to finish it.
Mhm.
So yeah. So and and the courses wise, yeah, I was doing a few things, but I now feel that I have to do some project kind of things.
Yeah.
So it's not really so there is another project that I'm doing. Maybe that is a bit perhaps that's a bit easy for you to quickly resolve it. Maybe so. What I'm doing is it's a small game.
Mhm.
So it's an RPG game that I'm trying to do, and it's Monty Python.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my idea is to create a simple RPG game, the role-playing game, where you choose one of the 5 knights of the round table and you go through the story. So because I was also sketching, so I actually started doing the sketches and all that, and so I have a few basic things done. So this is again what I would probably do is I will again put this question next week because again it will be a bit difficult. So only problem right now what I am stuck. What I was doing was I was just playing it, and then there are the Pygame. I'm using Pygame, and it's quite limited in terms of what it can do when displaying text messages and all that. It's stuck in some of those internal inconsistencies. But this again probably we will discuss next week because I don't have. I cannot show you now. So what I have or what we can discuss is this Liège microgrid I saw in Kaggle. So I'll probably put the data set on the chat. You can check the chat here. So can you see it, Srinath? Yeah. So it's on the chat.
There's a little chat icon on the top right.
So you were saying some error, when few error in so if you can use, I can help you out.
Oh, is it? Sure.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, go on. So yeah, what the thing is this. I can show you. I can tell you. I forgot. Okay. So the thing is, I will probably show you the. So I was doing the. Okay. So I can share my screen and you can probably see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a fast AI thing. I will just have to run these things. But so I'll probably should not be showing the keys, but anyway, this is not a good idea. Okay.
From where you got it from
So
Azure?
yeah, so what I did was in Azure there is the subscribers key.
Yeah. Subscription. The subscription.
Yeah, subscription key. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this subscription key, I just picked that up, and then you give the you give this into this key, and the Fast AI has a. I will show that. Perhaps that's easier. Fast AI has a this thing to search.
You are running.
Search for. I'm sorry.
You are running the Jupyter notebook on Azure, or you are local?
No. This is local. Jupyter Notebook is local.
Okay.
So what? Okay, so what I was doing was this key. Okay, you can see the page now. Image. Yeah. So they have a search images Bing as a function, which essentially uses an API inside. And sends uses the key. The key is the Azure search key.
So when you go to your Azure portal, have you created that API?
No, so that's what I don't know. So what do you have to do? You have to create an API and then give it permission, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
First you need to create that API. Once you create that API, you will get that URL and also the key.
Okay, so the API is this the API, cognitivemicrosoft.com. So I was looking at that and somebody was saying that that I probably might have problems because also of where it is fetching its geographical problems and all that they were saying. So anyway, I don't know that.
While creating that in the Azure portal, we have like you have to create a resource. There are regions, East West. So
sorry, creating Azure portal. What is this?
In Azure portal, you have to create a cognitive services.
Yeah.
So just go to the portal.
So in the app services you have to do?
No. Just
I'm sorry, your voice is breaking.
So there is beside the Microsoft service there is like hamburger, right? We wrote. Just click on that.
Which one? I don't understand. Sorry.
At the top you have seen that Microsoft Azure.
Yeah.
Yeah, beside left.
No, the hamburger on the left. Yeah.
Click on all services. All services.
Yeah. Okay.
Go to AI plus machine learning.
Wait, AI plus machine learning. Okay.
Click on that cognitive services.
I'm sorry. Yeah, cognitive services. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You click on it. Yeah.
So I have to create one, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so now
so which just scroll down, you will find the Bing custom search. Select that you want what is your
image search. It was image search.
Bing search you will find
I think it could be just Bing search. I don't know. Just a second. I will check in the util what they do. It is cognitive.microsoft.com, so I probably just Bing search. I don't know.
These are all cognitive search.
Maybe there are more. Perhaps there is more in this. Bing's computer vision. Yeah,
so
there is.
You will provide that image based on that image. So your input is image, right?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're just searching. And we collect images. So, for instance, you give a name, image search term, and then you collect a set of images that comes out of it.
So these are cognitive services. You can find the relevant ones.
So let's say I just add this. Let's say I do a Bing search. That's so I'll do a create.
So once you create, you will get the URL and also you have to give a name.
Okay. Okay, this is pricing tier. Okay.
No, okay, pricing type selected. Please select.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to create. You can't create it. Yeah. You have to give a
What does it mean?
It means like if you have 10 like in these APIs, you can group them into a folder, like folder in isolation.
Okay, I'll put a
Yeah.
search
Yeah,
group.
okay. You have to here it is the equivalence.
Oh,
Okay.
Else give your name.
Okay, Europe.
Yeah, this is the closest region you have to select.
Yeah. So okay. So it says subdomain is already used.
Yeah,
Pick a
yeah. You have to give a unique name.
Okay. Okay. Oh God. Okay. Okay. I will do that.
Don't give the capital letters. All in lowercase. No icon.
No, it was iPhone was there.
Okay. Okay.
okay.
Yeah, looks okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can
create.
create.
Okay. Deployment is in progress. Okay. So this will essentially be something that I will have access to from, I mean, through the API that they will give me the link.
Here you need to replace V in your code.
Okay. So this should I not show some of these IDs? I don't know how it is.
Just wait for a minute.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. You work with Azure?
Yeah, I work with AWS and Azure.
Okay. That's good. God, it's taking time. Okay. So maybe we'll go back there a bit while later because it's taking time. Yeah. So I have given the Kaggle link. So the data set is it's a time series data set which has in fact there are multiple of them. So this is another thing I wanted to do. Like I think there are multiple data sets. So I want to know how do we deal with, for instance, I think there are three or four CSV files.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, of course I can always load one by one into a pandas data frame and then do something with it. But is there any other way we can, for example, open them all together, perhaps in different data frames, or is there a possibility for a series of data frames, something like that?
You can actually sort of loop through all the files in a folder, and if they are .csv files, you can kind of like open them. That is possible. But then basically each one is you just look at OS. You just have to Google OS, because you need the OS and read functionality.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, just a second. Because I was not able to, I had a quick look at what is there in the data, but it wasn't really easy to understand. though I think I had a look at the details. So this is a paper that they had published, and it was from a paper, and yeah. So yeah, okay. So grouping and then doing it probably is a good idea. Just look at it up. So we can just check in. Check. This is what os.dir, right? It's something
yeah. Basically, you can just reading a file in Python. You can just say it'll give you that thing. Reading files in a directory in Python. How you want to say it. No, that's different. The other one, look at the Stack Overflow usually.
Yeah. So it's os import list dir. Okay, and os path. So let's.
So the only thing is, where is this folder with respect to your Python notebook?
It's the same folder.
Okay. So just just copy paste that code.
Yeah.
And you also need the last one, so just you can print it out.
Oops. Okay, I think path has to be defined.
Yeah. So
I just say /. How do I say?
No, wait. Only files in this directory, my path. So my path can be the directory which you are currently at, right? So
I have replaced it with /.
Oh, okay, fine.
So only file. Oops, sorry. Yeah, it contains. Okay, it contains all files. So now I have to only look at .csv files.
Yeah, so basically what you have to do is just do a split with the dot and pick out the last -1 thing and then just check if that is a CSV. So basically you just say that you can actually loop through. What you can do is you can say, see, it's like this. You can just say for file in only files. And then you just have to say, what do you say, file type. You can say file type is equal to file.split and argument is dot.
With quotes?
Yeah, it's with quotes because you have passed a string and you just pick out the last -1.
Okay.
Somebody else done, I think so. Okay, so now, where was I? Yeah, so then you just have to check if first you can just print it out if you want.
Yes, we'll do that.
Just make sure that you have to put it's now a parenthesis. It's a function. Okay. So what are we getting?
Yeah, we get a list of...
Oh, no, sorry. So split, it's like this. You have to first do split and then -1 is in the array. So you are extracting the last one. Okay, so now you have. So now you can then say if file type is equal to CSV, then we have to now start opening it. And then you can just say, I don't know what. No, you can put another array if you want. Again, that's the parenthesis.
I don't know what way I'm doing this.
Okay, cool. So we have this. So now what you can do is you can just you can create another. What you can do, you can just you can do a list comprehension. You can say objects is equal to. So basically, it's like this. You're creating a list of panda objects. So you can say dfs as an array. So dfs is equal to, and then inside array we do a list comprehension. So basically, what you have to do is list comprehension means first you have to put what it is you want to actually do, and then after that the for loop. So the best way to do is to start with the for loop. So first say for and say x in whatever, like x in file only CSV. It's better because you lose the file. Yeah, so maybe x. And then before this for, now you can put your PD, that is pd.read CSV of that. Thanks. Yeah,
Okay.
just try it out.
So, but df should be then.
Yeah, so just try df should be an array.
No. Yeah, it's a list.
Okay. So just try.
So there'll be a.
Yeah, just check out the length of it.
Yeah.
So
Seven,
it's exactly. So 7 should be 7 array.
Yeah. That's right.
So you can now pick out any one of them and just, so you can just do like another loop and you can just do df.head. That's it.
Yeah. So, okay. So now we have it in different arrays, all of the files.
Yeah.
Okay. All of the, okay. Perfect. Because this will be particular. I mean, if there are like in one of the things I was trying to do, there are multiple files where you have the same features that are put in front, and then you have the actual sensor data or actual data for that specific sensor, for instance. So
I see. So the same columns basically. It's the same columns. It's just different times. I suppose.
Yeah. So when that has to happen, then we'll do something to manage it. So I was just trying to. That was another way, and I can easily manage it with this. Even if I don't really know or really not paying attention to which file contains what, I'll take it all in and then decide which column to take after I.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, just because it's been a while I read this, I don't remember now what were the. So
just take a little break. Does anyone have anything to add or talk about? Yeah. Feel free to just jump in because, like I said, it's totally informal. So there's like no need to raise hand or something. Just jump in if you need to say anything.
Says someone. Okay. Something.
So is everyone other than that also familiar with pandas and data frames? Somebody is messaging on the group. I don't know. Is he there?
Yeah. They're not there.
I don't see him here.
Yeah.
So Srinath, just a question, like are you comfortable with pandas and data science?
Not very much comfortable. I just learned it but never applied it.
I see, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like me, it's fine. Because the only thing is you you have some electrical background or something like that?
No, I am from computer science background.
Yeah, okay. Because, I mean, the only thing was, the question was mostly because there is a microgrid open data. So the idea, it appears is that, if I remember correctly, there is some form of prediction of how much energy that can be produced, so that you can manage the battery capacity of the microgrid. So microgrids, you know what a microgrid is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially something using the weather forecast and other details, and perhaps the past production capabilities based on whatever forecast, weather details were there, can we kind of predict how much of I think this is solar, solar power generation that can be done, so that accordingly you manage the battery which is used to stock the solar power. So this is what, in a very brief way, what this one does. I think they also do something like, so what they do is they also do some optimization on saying that when you store, when you use, and things like that, depending upon the cost of the power available in the grid. So this is what we have it here. You probably would see it in the. I'm sorry?
Very, very interesting use case.
Yeah. That's why, because I was looking for something a bit more engineering oriented, and so I picked this up, and but then I had to be sure that people have a basic idea of what system are we talking about, because the last time we had a nice hotel booking problem, which was a lot easy for people to understand, whereas this one may not necessarily be that universal. But then I wanted to work on a different type of data set, which means we had to go to some domain specific problem. Okay. So Shiva, what exactly would be the fundamental difference that we have to look at if I'm going to use a both are tabular data that we have, which means both are what they structured in whatever sense. But what sort of things should I look different from the hotel data set that we analyzing, for instance?
Okay, so let's go back and have a look. Let's check out the data.
Yeah.
No, you go back to our notebook. Okay, so let's pick out, we have the data. If we do df0.describe or df0.info, what happens?
I would describe this first.
Okay, so we have 96 columns, that's different. 96 columns is that's different. It's 96 columns, it's pretty huge. Okay. Now the question is, what are these columns? These are all the different solar installations. Can you check out the Kaggle site?
Yeah.
So if you go all the way up, there will be a description. If you go all the way up to the data set.
Yeah.
So if you go up, acknowledgements, content. Okay. Content. The data set, if you come down, there is a content. Yeah. Data set is comprised of 15 minutes resolution weather forecast, solar radiation produced by the library based on the marked region climate model. 5 seconds resolution monitored PV and consumption of the Miris microgrid. 15 minutes resolution PV and consumption weather based forecast produced by a forecast and user study. So these are 3 different data sets, I take it.
In the sense that no. It's 3 different data sets, but I think we have to use them together.
Okay.
In the sense that, so at least the first 2 they have used to produce the third one, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Right. So in the sense that 15 minutes resolution of weather forecast is available, and 5 seconds resolution of the PV power monitored and the power monitored and consumption. So, and then no.
See here. See, this means each quarter PV and consumption forecast is produced, composed of 96 values, 1 per quarter for the 24 hours ahead. Right? So, which is why it is taking in every 24 hours, it is producing, or rather this 24 hours, it is dividing each 24, or rather, how would you say it? 1 hour is divided, it's got 15 minutes, so basically 24 into 4, right? 24 into 4 is 96. So it's like basically every 15 minutes. Now, let's go back to the data set again. Or actually, let's go back. If you look at the notebook in this above, the tab above, and if you come down,
no, nobody has really done anything.
Nobody's done anything. Okay. So let's go back to data itself. So if you come down again and down. Okay. So here you see now date time, forecast at T plus 15, and so on and so forth. So it's basically every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And
so that's why. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then if you look, they have taken the first column, first row is at 0000 hours. The next one is 15 minutes after that.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how are they.
Series data, right? So it will be frequency every 15 minutes.
Yeah, that makes sense. But then why? Okay, so for each one, at each time instant, they have the power generated plus another 15 minutes of prediction for the next 24 hours. I think that's what they're doing. So this is like a huge matrix that way.
Yeah. I will just maybe I'll also just see if what is there in the directly in their in the file, if there is something clearly easy to understand.
No, that's okay. We can now that we have some idea, we can just start going with this. So let's go back to the data set. Okay, great. Okay. So this one thing is okay. So now if you look at df0.info, how many rows do we have? Oh my god, what is it?
2688.
Okay, 2688 rows. It's not very big.
So 28 days of data they have.
Okay. So it's like, okay, fine. So now, what are we going to do? The first thing we can do, we can try to sort of plot this.
Yeah.
So like for example, we can plot just the first column for the entire time series. We can generate like a line graph.
Okay, so this will be it'll be 0.
What are you trying to do? Okay, SMS.
This I mean there is no.
Yeah, as always, if you need SNS, just do like shift tab and you'll get the help.
No. It's not about that, because you have to do X and Y right now. SNS. You have to do.
Yeah, so actually it will be like this. You take with df0.index. So that's the thing. So just do like first do shift.
Okay.
No. What I'm trying to say. Okay.
I want to just see what is there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mean to say SNS plot, that is seaborne plot, line plot.
Yeah.
Sorry. line plot, and then x is equal to df0.index.
.index.
Okay, y is equal to df0 0.
No, that won't be right. Okay. Yeah.
And then
Shift tab.
data
Always
is
try
equal
to.
to df.
Yeah, just as always, if you need, just do Shift tab and get the help rather than trying.
Yeah.
You have to be within that thing. Within the function parentheses.
Which?
Yeah. Now if you do Shift tab, you should get some help. Yeah. So x, y. So you see what is happening. You do not pass the entire thing. What you have to do is you just have to say the name of the column. So you can remove all that df0.index and just put index in as this thing.
Okay, I understand. Okay, just index, and here I can say df0.
Yeah, and even y, you can just replace it with the string 0. You might have to put string. It's a string because the name of the column itself is 0, and remove the square brackets around it. And just try it out. You might have to put index. So index, you have to put index. It's also in quotes. So basically what you're saying, the SNS plot figures out that index.
No.
What does it say?
Could not interpret value index for parameter.
Okay,
X.
so then just do Shift tab again. Let's see what happens if you have to pick out by index. There usually is some way. If you come down to there. Help. Yeah, there will usually be an example, so just keep scrolling.
No, not much.
Oh, I'm surprised. Okay, so then I would say we just Google, just do like SNS line plot with respect to index.
I think it should be fine.
Yeah, it's not supporting. Just come down.
So they do it this way if it is multiple, but not doing it with index. So this is not exactly correct in terms of what we are looking for.
No, that's okay. So what we have to do then is just to go back, and it could not hash the index, right? So then what you can do, I think, have you put the quote on the index as well? Just put x is equal to, I see only one quote, or is it two quotes?
No, I had two quotes. I just
okay. So then what we will do, we can just okay, what we will do, in the df0, just create another column, and let's call this time, and set that equal to index. So if you say, yeah, no, index. Okay, so now try to put time in that, x is equal to time. Yeah, so now we have it. So,
yeah,
interesting. So now,
I'll probably change the size.
Yeah, just about that. plt.figure.
plt.figure, right?
Yeah, and in that you can just pass fixed size is equal to.
Fixed size is equal to 10, 5, something like that. Okay, 12, okay.
Okay. So, this is what we have, right? Now, the main thing what you can do is, you can say, supposing for example, you want to test out this value with respect to the value 1 hour ahead. That is, how is the current PV generated compared to what is being predicted 1 hour ahead of this, right? So then what we say is y can now be a list with 0 and 0, 1, 2, I think should be 4, right? Because 0, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then 1 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can just
check.
Copy that and paste it again in another one.
So you want to do the same thing, but instead of 0 to 4, is it?
Yeah, no. What you can do instead, now passing only 1, pass a list with 0 and 4.
Like this?
No. 0 as a string, so 0 as a string and 4 as a string. So that way. So there are 2 columns. Comma 4.
Comma, right?
Yeah, comma, because it's a list of this thing.
Okay, list, okay. No.
Oh.
So length to data has length. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
But should we do some? It says the length. So there is. It's trying to pick the rows, whereas we want to pick columns. To pick columns.
Length. Okay. Length of list.
So it just pick the columns. Pick the rows. In fact, when we give 0 and 4.
No, I don't think so. Just check, come down once. Let me look at the error once again. Length of list vectors must match length of data when both are used, but data has length and the vector passed to y has length too. Can you just go and check out the shift tab again? Let me see if there's something. I don't know what I did. See if data, okay, x, y. Vectors or keys in data. Variables will specify exact positions on the x and y axis. So it says, right, keys in data. So now keys, okay. Okay, instead of well, a list. Instead of a list, what happens if you put a tuple instead? So you put parentheses. So instead of a square bracket. Don't think it should make a difference, but let's try once.
No, same problem.
Okay, I think we need to Google. What if line plot, that is just Seaborn line plot with multiple columns?
Yeah.
Yes, Google.
Okay. Melt. Okay. Wait, this is not clear. What is the question? X, Y axis. Okay. First column of X axis and rest as Y axis.
So now, now see, come down the next one, because this he's taken a sample. Df.melt y axis, x axis, var name is equal to calls, value name is equal to vals. I don't know what df is. SNS factor plot x is equal to y is equal to vals. Just go up and hue is equal to calls. What is vals? Just if you scroll up, if you just scroll up a little, see if there's a vals defined. Y is equal to vals.
So he is just saying, for instance, the variable name and value names.
Oh, melt. You need melt for that. I see. Okay. Yeah, check it out. Melt. I see. So we have to define this if you want to pass it. So I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Why is that so? Just can you go back to the Seaborn and check if there's another answer also?
No, there is only one answer.
I see. So I'm quite surprised. I think I've done this before because it's something that is usually done. Let me just look once. Oh, so I think you need to use something called hue in that case. That's what it says. So it can only plot X and Y together.
Yeah, you need hue, correct.
Okay. What if we do it twice? It's Seaborn. This same line plot in the same figure. That is 1 with 0, 1 with 4. So this, yeah. No need for a list, you can just put just the string. There's no list because it's only one column. Okay,
Yeah.
so basically since it's like this, it's a kind of a override because we are specifying the same plot and we are giving different SNS plots. It superimposes everything on the same plot. So it's like a hack. Okay, so now, what if we want to compare this with the row? Like for example, how it is actually, this is a prediction. So basically what we are doing is we are plotting the prediction of 15 minutes ahead, right? We are plotting what is currently being generated with respect to what is being predicted 1 hour ahead, not 15 minutes ahead, 1 hour ahead.
Yeah.
Now, if we were to compare this with what it actually is 1 hour ahead. So for example, what I'm trying to say is if we actually start extracting the time series from 1 hour ahead and plotting it with respect to this and comparing it, that could be one thing which we can do. You understand, right? That is, if you want to see how good our prediction is with respect to the actual data, then we are plotting the predicted value with respect to the actual value.
Yeah.
Only thing I have a doubt is if you look at the data set, if you look at the Kaggle site again, the first column is the measured data. So this first column is the measured data, is it? See.
No, first is the forecast.
So that is also a forecast.
Yeah, I don't understand it very well. Okay.
So then can you show me the head of df0? If you say the head of, let's say, up to 10. So if you look now, compare column, there is no correlation between the columns and the rows, if you see.
Yeah.
So I don't understand, what is that first, so what is the column with respect to the rows? I think I'll have to read a little about what they're trying to do.
Yeah. I think I had read a bit and it's been a long time. I completely forgot.
Okay.
It's been like 2.5-3 weeks, I had a quick look at it, and then I kind of lapsed on it. So I'll probably have to, because I was even going to look at the paper, but I don't think I did. Now, it's confusing.
Okay, so yeah, we are almost out of time. Is there anything else anyone wants to ask or something? How do you want to, what else do you think we can do with this? We can think about it next week.
Yeah. I will come up with proper use cases.
Does anyone else have any comment? Okay, so I guess in that case we just conclude next week. Let's so what we should do is we should come up with a few challenge questions that we can solve.
Yeah.
So now that I have this data set, and I would say I hope everyone else has this data set, have a look at it and let's think of something that we can do with respect to it. Maybe they also have some lists of tasks that they say we can do with it. We can try it out.
Yeah.
In the meantime, if you do want to come next time and you have another data set in mind, you're always welcome to bring that on.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So thank you so much for coming. Goodbye, everyone. We'll meet next week.
Yeah. See you.